Most weight loss plans are one size fits all, not taking into account each person's individual needs. Noom is here to change that. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain. But it also takes into account your unique biological factors, which also affect weight loss success. The program helps you understand the science behind your eating choices and why you have cravings. Everyone's journey is different, so your daily lessons are personalized to you and your goals. One of the great things about Noom is that it's nourishing instead of restrictive. They focus on progress instead of perfection. You don't have to give up carbs, or anything for that matter. Have cravings? Food FOMO? Noom can help you lose weight while still enjoying your favorite foods. To date, Noom has helped more than 5.2 million people lose weight. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com. That's Noom.com.
Hey guys, I don't want to sound needy here.
I'm needy.
But we have a Patreon at patreon.com/worstpeople.
Mm-hmm.
And it only costs $3 a month.
$3 a month is nothing.
And I know times are hard right now.
Real hard for me.
Inflation's up.
Oh.
You can't afford your groceries.
Can't eat.
But you can afford $3 a month if you love us.
Give us $3.
Super love us.
Please
Yeah.
love us.
We're not begging.
I'm begging.
We're not pleading.
I'm pleading.
We're not down on our knees.
Oh boy,
I mean-
my knees hurt. They've been on so long.
But we do kind of need the money.
I need the money bad.
We need new equipment.
New equipment. We need to do remote podcasts for all of you.
I wouldn't mind eating.
We need to have video.
I wouldn't mind eating.
We need more drinks.
Food sounds good.
So please check out patreon.com/worstpeople.
Please check us out.
You get a bonus episode every month, and we're going to have more content coming for you.
I'll send you pictures.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much. Please give me more.
Patreon.com/worstpeople.
I'm being held hostage here. If I don't pay my way out of here, they're going to kill me.
Welcome back to Bad Movies, Worst People. It's our second anniversary, our 116th episode. And we have a special guest with us, Steve from Bucket of Chum. And this week, our friends forever will be together. We're on top because we play to win.
Against the ninja.
I'm Derek.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Jack.
And I'm Captain Steve.
And this is Bad Movies, Worst People.
Club Park Avenue, Central Florida's hottest nightclub. We have a special treat for you today. We have a new house band with a new dimension in rock and roll. We have the one, the only, Dragon Sound.
Yes, we're back. This is our second anniversary, and we're talking again about Miami Connection.
Thank God.
This was the first episode that we had Jack on way back in January of 2023, which doesn't sound like that long ago.
No, but it was.
But it was 111 episodes ago.
Wow. And so I was talking with your wife earlier, who can't join us because technology hates us today. Were you aware of this movie before I brought it to you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think you told me about it.
Okay, because that's what I was trying to tell Whitney, was like that we did not have a reason to know this movie until we started doing this.
Yeah. Well, I knew of the movie before I started the podcast, but it's one of those ones that helped push me over the edge. I was like, I want to talk about this.
Yeah.
No one
Yeah.
wants to listen.
You have to talk about this movie. Captain Steve, how aware of this movie were you?
So I think I actually became aware of this movie because of riff tracks.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
after I saw the riff tracks, and then Vinegar Syndrome released it on Blu-ray, I was like, fuck yes.
Yeah, that was actually the first time I heard about Vinegar Syndrome was like October of 2022 or something like that. And I went on to get something and I saw Miami Connection, and it must have been right after you told me about it, Jack, because then I was just like, well, yeah.
Duh.
And they must have just released it because it goes out of print. Like, it went out of print. It's back in now for
I
a
got
while,
it
but
on, glorious 4K now.
yeah.
Yeah,
that was the
me
one
too.
they did. I got the big cool box. You got the cool new slipcover
Yeah,
because I care about those things and you don't.
I definitely do not. But dude, this movie is so much everything I want to be about a bad movie podcast.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's-
100%, man. Like when I think of like cheesy 80s action movies,
Yes.
like this movie and I think it's Action USA. Those these two movies together, like that's quintessential 80s action to me. Like you've seen these movies spoofed on The Simpsons like 100 times before.
That's how you know you made it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the fighting's not bad. The acting is the worst, and it makes me so happy.
I think, and this is what I wanted to talk to Whitney about, but again, she can't join us because the internet gods hate us. We had all 4 of us on one time.
Yeah, we've done it before.
Well, twice, but once when Steve did it, and he's more professional than me.
I think it's just bullshit luck.
But she was sitting there watching this with me last night, so she still had to watch it. And she hates this movie.
I
Like
don't
more
get it.
than Cherry 2000.
I don't get it.
I don't
Why
get
does
it
she
either.
hate world peace and friendship?
I think she does. Do you hate world peace and friendship?
Yeah, I text while I was watching at the end of the movie, I text our group chat and I was like, I fucking love this movie.
Me too, man. I love this movie to fucking death. Like I'm so glad I get to finally talk about it because like I put this movie on at least probably 2 times a year.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of texting about it, Steve sent me a message because I was talking to him about getting ready for today. And he's like, I'm watching this movie right now, and most of the subtitles just say men grunting.
Yeah.
So then
Which
I turned
really
it on.
describes the movie basically, because it's just a bunch of dudes fighting. So it's just men grunting, men panting.
Yeah.
Like that's all it is.
So
Yeah.
I turned it on and decided to count while I was watching because I've seen it 5 or 6 times. Men grunting. I didn't count men groaning.
Okay.
But I did count men grunting. That if I counted men groaning, it'd be more than double.
Yeah.
But we ended up with 42 instances of the subtitle men grunting.
That's a lot of men grunting.
Or a
That's a
variation
lot.
upon. Yeah. Because there was also like Mike grunting and whoever.
was the men grunting, was that like when they were setting up for a all male pornography where they all come out with their pants kind of undone with a towel over their shoulder just looking around? Even one of these guys has a fucking 70s 80s porn stash. He is ready for action.
Jeff is walking. Is it Jeff? No, Jim. Damn it.
Jim.
You did that earlier.
I know.
Jim is walking around the whole time when they're not out in public with no shirt and his pants unbuttoned.
Just to show you the tidy whities. Flash
Yeah.
the goods, dude.
Whitney
The fuck,
commented
man?
on it, and I was like, well, his pants are tight enough. He doesn't have to have them buttoned.
Yeah.
They'll stay up.
It's still not as egregious as what happens later when you come eye to eye with a dude's penis. Yeah, we'll get there, but let's just say it's a scene with an absurdly small amount of shorts.
I just want to ask you guys if you think it's a coincidence that the answer to life, the universe, and everything, and the number of times that men grunt in this movie are the same.
I mean, that tells us everything about life we need to know, man.
Yeah.
So
And Derek cracked the code.
right up front, we like to let people know where they can watch this movie if they want to watch before we talk any more about it.
Come on over to my living room.
Yeah.
Mine too.
You can get it. You can watch it for free with ads, so whatever. But on Freevee and Roku, you can rent it for $4 on Amazon and Apple, and you can buy it for $8 on Amazon and Apple. Or you can do what all the smart guys did, because Vinegar Syndrome reprinted it for their out of print sale thing or whatever they did. I don't know. They added more copies, so it's on Vinegar Syndrome right now for $30 with the cool new slip. There's like 600 left, which is not very many because they usually, I think they did like 5,000 or something.
Oh, wow.
So.
Yeah, I got my money's worth just today.
Oh, you can also get. I meant to grab it so I could show it to the cameras because we're trying to do a video component for Patreon. But you can get the vinyl of the soundtrack, which I have, for $26. Oh, look,
Here's the Blu-ray.
He's got the Blu-ray right there,
Nice.
the fancy box.
Let me see what I got in my bag of tricks here.
Nice. Steve, did you see his shirt?
Oh hell yeah! I like that it says Dragon Sound on the back of the cover too.
Yeah.
It will never fit me.
I got to move my beard here, but I'm wearing mine. It's not the red one because I'm too fat for red.
Me too.
Oh nice.
against the Ninja Dragon sound.
I'm too red for red. A giant tomato? Nope, just Jack.
Now, if I wear a red shirt, people like run away from me when they have their kids because they think It the Clown is coming. But he's like a really big balloon.
We all eat down here.
Pennywise, sorry. Winging jokes, making name mistakes. That's why I should write everything down, but I don't.
Yeah.
So this movie came out in either 1988 or 2010.
Depends on when you saw it.
Rated R, directed by Woo Sang Park, and I wrote down some of his movies. I've never seen any of them. He did a lot of Hong Kong action. I wrote them down because I know Jack would get a kick out of this because these movies are all worth watching.
Okay.
Because we have My Name is Twin Legs, also known as Strike of Thunder Kick Tiger. Look at Me America, also known as Gang Justice, which has Eric Estrada in it.
Ooh.
And Dreadnought Rivals, also known as Manager of Shaolin Hall.
Okay, that one's kind of a discrepancy. The other ones all have like two cool names. This one's like Dreadnought the Destroyer or Mike the Store Manager. Night Shift.
Yeah.
But because they're all also known as, and Jack has been known to say, if a movie has more than one title, it's probably awesome.
Yeah, it's at least worth watching.
Also,
I went down a rabbit hole with a friend earlier about the Evil Dead franchise in Italy because they named a bunch of movies like Evil Dead, basically. Like,
oh yeah,
none of them have anything to do with the rest of them, and then it's the same thing with like the House franchise. Like House 4 technically isn't really House 4; it's actually House 3.
Yeah, because House 3 has
We
nothing
just
to
talked
do.
about
It's
this.
barely in a house. Yeah,
Yeah.
House.
Super funny.
I will say though, I think House 3 is the coolest one.
House 2 is the funnest.
Because House
This
3
one
has,
is like my first horror movie I ever watched.
well,
So
it's
damn.
very
number one.
fun. Like I just saw them all four, just watched them. I've never seen them before, and so the cover of the movie for 1 and 2, I'm like, this looks like a spooky movie. It's not. They're comedies mostly. I mean, 1 is a little bit more horror. 2 is straight up.
2 is slapstick.
It's a fucking 80s boob comedy.
Yeah.
And
that's why I like it.
but 3 is like
I'm an 80s boob comedy.
3 is like a horror movie, and it's Lance Henriksen and Brian James just being terrifying at each other.
Well, you just mentioned two very terrifying people.
Yeah. So I enjoyed that one. It was the most brutal of them, but it's
Who's
nothing
the
to
good
do
guy?
with it.
Clancy Brown.
No, Lance Henriksen.
I know, but it'd be funny if Clancy Brown was in there. Just 3 of the most terrifying people ever.
But yeah, so this one is written by Joseph Diamond, but the story was by YK Kim, who's the star and producer.
Oh, real quick. You said the director's name. Is he in this movie?
He is. He plays Uncle Song.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah. And Joseph Diamond, who wrote this, is Jack. Not you, but from the movie.
I was like, wait, I am not getting royalties on this movie.
I don't think anyone is.
Oh, can you just I know we talked about it the last time we recorded, but talk about why you said 2 release dates.
Okay, so originally this was released in 1988 in 8 theaters in the Orlando area, and it made I did write this down because they had a number. It made $2,199.
Wow.
And was panned by some local critic, which made everybody not go see it because the 80s didn't appreciate what they had.
Fuck no.
And so it disappeared. It almost bankrupted YK Kim, who had mortgaged his like Taekwondo business and like done just put up everything he had to make this movie. In 2009, a guy named Zach Carlson, was a programmer at the Alamo Drafthouse. So this is a little different than the story you've heard and the story I've heard, but it's similar.
Okay.
2009, he found a 35 millimeter print of it on eBay. He'd never heard of it, but he bought it for either $35 or $50. I found both those stories because he was like, what the hell? Why not? They screened it for like a cult film thing they do, and it blew the fuck up. And so they showed it a few more times. And then in 2012, they did like a full on re-release of it through Drafthouse Films. And then Vinegar Syndrome put it out on home video for everybody. But it was funny because when they played it the one time because they're like, what are we going to do? Get sued?
Yeah.
But then when they wanted to make it a real thing and like distribute it and stuff, he started trying to call YK Kim.
And he thought it was a joke, right?
Yeah, he kept hanging up on him.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, fuck off. Like, nobody cares about this movie. The quote was literally, YK Kim, in one of the interviews I saw, every distribution company rejected it after screening and said to me, "Don't waste your time. Just throw it away. It is trash."
So before we get to any YK Kim, should we pick an accent to do for him? Because we're not going to do his. You can choose from the Southern Lawyer, Marky Mark, Jay Leno, Irish, Scottish.
See, Marky Mark's my easy one, but we do that all the time.
I could do Stitch. I could do Cleveland Brown.
Okay, well, you got to do ones I can do.
Or Norman's Taekwondo.
What do you want? We got to do one that Derek can do.
I can't.
Jeff, you found your father.
You know what? I'll just do it in my voice. Although you doing Cleveland might not be any better because Cleveland is a white guy playing a black guy.
Stricken from the record. I could do Jay Leno.
All right. So YK Kim tonight will be portrayed by Jay Leno.
Yeah, thanks for having me. We got a lot of Taekwondo dojos. You know what I'm saying?
Somehow that's just very fitting. I don't know why. That just, I mean, you can't understand what he's saying anyway, so like it kind of works.
And I don't want to make fun of the guy because if you had me try and speak Korean, it would be so fucking awful.
Yeah.
That entire
Oh,
country would make fun of me.
100%.
But it's
Yeah.
it's great because his delivery is so bad, partially because he can't speak English and partially because he's just maybe the worst actor I've ever seen on film.
Yeah.
And I've seen like Champagne and Bullets. I've watched Wings Hauser walk around that thing drunk. Like
Yeah, it is some brutal. I actually watched it without subtitles because I've seen this so many times. I'm like, I'm gonna see if I can pick out what he's saying. 40% success rate, I would say.
I did the subtitles specifically to count how many times men grunt.
And so what you also do for porn.
This is what my life has become. I do real quick want to touch on a couple of things people put out.
So you've already touched on men grunting. Touch on things people put out too.
There was two reviews or a couple of reviews that I found when the movie was re-released. And I think one of them really embodies why we love this movie so much. So it's this guy, David Schmatter. Sure.
It doesn't matter.
From something called The Stranger. So, but he said, to say Miami Connection is bad is a crushing understatement. Miami Connection is so bad it makes Tommy Wiseau's The Room look like wild strawberries. But out of this tragic mess of failure and incompetence, a distinctly sweet spirit emerges. Source is a cumulative gameness and good sportsmanship of everyone involved in Miami Connection, which is drenched with a goofy joy that is contagious.
I mean, that's pretty well said.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the thing. It's so bad. Like this is the definition of it's so bad it's good.
Yeah.
Because it's not one of those ones
100%.
where like I'm watching it and it's so campy and cheesy that I'm laughing and enjoying it. It's so bad, but the people were putting so much fucking effort in.
Yes. I hate to root for people to fail, but man, it's a good fail. You failed upwards.
And I do have one other one I want to touch on just because it's a lady who wrote for Tucson Weekly
Oh.
who reviewed it. And I found this
Oh.
on Wikipedia. So, you know,
hometown paper here.
that's the source for all news, Wikipedia.
Pull out the red carpet.
yeah.
But Jackie Allen of Tucson Weekly said, Miami Connection is quite possibly the most hilariously terrible film made in the 80s, which is no small feat. The film has gained a cult following over the years, and with good reason. It is one of the best bad movies ever made.
Yep.
So, and there was one other guy who I didn't catch, but the quote was just, YK Kim had a vision, and his vision is a horrible glory.
Yeah, I'm glad you like it. You're picking up what I was putting down. Thanks.
So we have this movie, which is about college students. Sure.
Yeah.
YK
Yeah,
Kim, by
I'm
the
in
way,
college.
YK Kim, 41 years old as of filming this.
And looking it.
But they're college students who are in like a 80s synth pop rock band that are also Taekwondo masters and have to defend Orlando from cocaine from Miami that is being sold by ninjas and a guy that looks a lot like Robin Williams.
The ninjas are also a biker gang. You're missing a
Oh,
very
yeah.
important-
I missed the ninja biker
They're-
gang.
they're-
Fuck. I knew I was going to miss
Bikers,
something.
bikers by day, ninjas by night. I believe the song said.
Tale old time.
It's in the song.
It's right. It's in the song. Exposition.
Oh, there's also on the Blu-ray. I think there's two cuts of this movie because there's Miami Connection, and then the other alternate cut is Escape from Miami. I think, which is
Yes.
also the name of the song, I guess.
Which I think explains why Miami Connection connection doesn't make sense with this movie being in Orlando, and we've joked about that ever since we
The
heard
connection
of the movie.
is the cocaine from Miami.
But I think Escape from Miami is a better title in that case because the cocaine is leaving Miami.
Yeah.
It's escaping.
Yeah, it's escaping. It's escaping
I don't
Miami
know.
and going up Orlando's nose.
But that version, I've watched it. It's a lot more sad.
Because I think
Jim dies.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think I know Jim dies.
Yeah, it just like ends. I think if I'm remembering right, it's like that point in the regular movie where like right after Jim gets cut at the end, and then like there's that freeze frame of like tall Michael
Monster
Phelps looking
Phelps.
dude. Yeah, Monster Phelps we called him on our last version.
Dude, he looks like a alien took over Michael Phelps and is trying really hard to get out.
But it's like him covered in blood.
Scarily accurate.
Yeah. It's him covered in blood holding the sword, and then YK Kim holding the sword and screaming, and then there's a freeze frame. I think that's just the end of the first movie.
So they ended on a freeze frame of full Sith mode.
Yeah, I think so. If I'm not remembering, I'm not sure. I watched it once when I first got the Blu-ray.
Well, this makes sense because I'm gonna bounce around a little bit. They have a picture of Jim's dad.
Yeah.
And then when they have a guy at the end be Jim's dad, it is not the same guy.
He's 10 years younger and has powder in his hair.
Oh my god, it was so bad.
For a second, I was like,
Holy
is that
shit.
Jim playing his own dad? And it's not, but that would have been even funnier.
So I'm not going to necessarily go through all the actors because they're not actors.
Yeah.
Two of these people were in other things, though. Vincent Hirsch, who plays John, Monster Phelps.
Okay.
The 8-foot tall man.
Yeah.
Who was 28 when they were making this, by the way. So a little older than he should have been for college. But, you know.
You don't know his life.
He took a couple years off. He had to find himself.
Yeah, it took off 8 years to run the farm while Ma was sick, all right?
But he was in one other movie, a Hong Kong movie called Dragons Never Die, also known as Kung Fu 10th Dan.
2 names means good.
Yeah. Or it just means it's from Hong Kong.
I said what I said.
And then the other actor in this movie, who's in one shot of the entire film, has the biggest career of all these people. His credit is Nail Face.
Oh, yeah, the biker that puts the nail in his face at the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I caught that too. That was really weird.
Yeah. Like it's such a focus. How do you not catch? Like, how do you not like figure out what that is?
This guy is very interesting. I mean, so he's basically played a biker his whole career, but his name is Bubba Baker.
I don't think he's acting.
He was in the 5th episode of Renegade.
Ooh.
So you've seen him.
Yeah.
He was Jimbo. Probably doesn't mean anything to you.
It does not. I'd like to sit here and pretend I knew exactly what you're talking about, but that was like 47 bottles of whiskey ago.
And he was in a couple episodes of Clarissa Explains It All.
Sure.
One as Man with Snake and the other as Biker in Lineup.
Mm-hmm.
He was cut from Ace Ventura Pet Detective, but he's in the TV broadcast version if you watch that.
Oh, nice.
He's
Fox cut.
the toothless giant. He was a Klansman in Bad Boys 2 and in some movie called The Old Livingston House, but I wrote it down because his character's name is Coke Machine. And I'm going to guess that it's not because he's large.
Yeah. It's not because he's wearing a large red shirt.
Also,
I think Jack kind of nailed it. He's not an actor. Like, he's just living his life. And they're like, hey, can we just like film you doing this thing? And they're like, there's a shit happening. Yeah, man, go for it. I don't care.
well,
Keep being yourself. I'm going to point a camera at you.
This movie is
Yeah.
one of those movies from this era where the actors, the bikers in the biker scene are real bikers who were paid with alcohol, as we've heard of multiple different times.
Which is why this is one of the best bar scenes in cinema. It is so fucking authentic.
Yeah, it's the best acting that Jeff does the whole movie.
Yeah.
But,
oh, you mean fucking what we call him, Mork Norris?
yeah. Last time we called him Mork Norris because he looks like Chuck Norris had a baby with Robin Williams. But
This guy could shave his chest and lose like 3 shirt sizes.
I feel like he did this movie and then he was like, wait, I can get paid to like just be a biker?
Yeah.
Like, I don't, okay. So he just kept doing it for the next like 20 years.
Uh-huh.
But he did go to,
He's got that Screen Actors Guild fucking insurance, baby.
he's got an interesting little backstory. So I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but he did go to the Full Sail Center for Recording Arts and graduated from that. But he went to Lompoc High School, which I'm only mentioning because he did skits and plays with his classmates, Jeffrey Combs and Mark Harrier.
I know Jeffrey Combs. Who's Mark Harrier?
So yeah, Jeffrey Combs, From Beyond, Reanimator, million things, great actor. Mark Harrier was one of the stars of Porky's, And he also directed the movie Popcorn, if you've ever seen that.
I know. You know what?
shit.
Sadly, I'm more familiar with Porky's. He's probably the guy that took his penis and put it through the wall in the shower.
I didn't go into the details because I just thought it was a fun fact, but
Yeah.
he might have been the dick guy.
I might have been Dick Shower guy. Old shower balls.
Hey, for our purposes, he is Dick Guy.
Henceforth referred to as Dick Guy in this court.
So all of these main characters are past college age. Jack, the drummer / writer of the movie, was 32. Couldn't find Jim's age, Maurice Smith.
We got to call Jack something else. I'm not going to be happy with it. Which one? What does he look like?
Well, he's the one that says he's from Israel and
Unibrow.
all right, Unibrow.
Yep.
He also wrote another movie, but I couldn't find anything about it other than that it's a film about miracles? ? And he mentions being
It's called How I Got Laid.
well, he mentions being like Israeli American in this, and it looks like a movie all about like people traveling to different religious places. It's specifically Jewish people traveling to different religious places and like worshiping and stuff.
Gotcha.
And it was in 2014. That's the only other credit he has.
Huh.
But Tom, who is the one that looks like Oates
Okay.
from Hall and Oates,
Absolutely.
Angelo Giannotti,
It's a
he
trucking
wrote.
company.
So I'm a little confused. The credits on the movie say he wrote the Friends song and Against the Ninja.
Yeah.
And then somebody else wrote all the other songs. But
All
on
the-
the vinyl,
All the instrumentals, it said.
well, no, all the like Tough Guy and some of the other songs that play was said it was written by this Lloyd someone.
The only other writing credit I saw for music was the instrumental stuff was written and performed by somebody different.
Yeah, I saw that guy because I liked his little like synthy interludes,
Of course you did.
which made sense because he's worked on some other stuff like Surf Nazis Must Die and
Oh, yeah.
Oscar. So, but on the vinyl I have it says that Angelo Giannotti and Dragon Sound wrote and performed all these songs. So I don't know.
Conflicting
either way-
reports about a movie that has 2 releases. Weird.
He was only 29, so he's a younger one. Jane, the only female, is 25, so she's the closest to the correct age.
Me, men, you, Jane.
They're all college students. Let's just go with it.
Yeah. Were they going to high school with the Power Rangers?
I mean, you can go to college anytime. It's fine.
That's fair.
Yeah, because what do they go to here? Use it UFC, which I'm pretty sure stands for University College
Seriously.
Florida.
UCF, University of Central Florida.
No, I like mine. University College Florida.
But so the movie starts in Miami with biker ninjas and,
As it-
and cocaine.
As it should.
Yeah. The guy who's apparently leading this group of drug dealers, I'm assuming the one with the drug hat.
I've got to assume it's the lawyer from Jurassic Park
Well,
because he's leading this group.
that actor's name was like Jeff Escobar or something like that. I was like, so
Wonder how he got the
Interesting.
little nepotism.
but I do like so there's this the ninjas attack these cocaine guys.
You can try and normalize it all you want. That's a word. That's a sentence that just flew out of your mouth.
Was this
And-
the fight scene with the machine guns? And when we see the bullets go off, they focus on like just the ground for a bit, and then we just see like the little charges go off, and we're just supposed to believe that like epic
Yeah.
gunfire going on, and it's like you held on to that like for way too fucking long.
Yeah, don't be proud of that shot.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
squibs or something.
Yeah, there's just
I
squibs
enjoy-
going off, and I'm like, why?
I enjoy the ninja that's playing peekaboo with the fucking Uzi. He just
Oh
keeps
my
like
God.
poking his head out. Woohoo! Woohoo!
Well, the one you're talking about, the one that's getting fired at while he's loading his bow and arrow.
No, like he's just going back and forth behind a fucking wall.
Oh, okay.
Like for no good reason except for him to use his bullets up. He does the guy gets choked out from behind with a chain, so it worked.
I do like the one I was talking about where the guy has the bow and arrow, and the other dude's
Arrow,
just
that's
unloading.
so good.
He's unloading. He unloads like 2 clips out of this fucking Uzi, and doesn't hit this dude, and it's just arrow. Because ninjas are calm and collected.
Calm and collected.
Hearing myself in my ears,
Much
is
like you.
fucking up my words.
How do you think I feel when I listen to you talk?
I do love the guy that's trying to fight one of the ninjas. So the ninja has a sword and he has a metal bar.
You
I'm
pick
like,
up what you can
yeah,
find, dude. Go
but
out
then
swinging.
He gets his fucking arm chopped off. That's nice.
Yeah, that's a good arm.
I think a lot of the money went to this scene and like the last scene.
100%. Any sort of prosthetics.
Yeah, because this starts with a dude getting a fucking throwing star in his neck.
And I believe somebody gets the half scalping or something, like a katana to the forehead that doesn't go all the way through.
Yeah. There's a dude also who picks up some metal bars and does what are those things called? Tonfas?
Yeah.
He does like a tonfa thing, and he ends up getting shoved into like a dark doorway, and it sounds like he falls. Like it's just an endless. He gets shoved into another dimension.
I'm still falling here. I'm running out of breath from falling and screaming so far. I didn't know enough.
He's
time
in
to
the
think
back
about my
rooms
life.
now. He's fine.
Because it's like a.
I believe I found
closet.
the upside down.
It's a closet, and he screams for like 20 seconds.
You know who was in there? Tom Cruise.
Oh,
I'm not in the closet.
I'm not in here.
Look, if you fell into a dark closet and all of a sudden Tom Cruise was down there, you'd scream for 20 seconds too. All right,
because that's when he kills you.
that's when he gets. That's how he stays young.
Yeah, he's gonna drink your blood.
He's gonna get so wasted.
Then we go into the opening song of the movie, which is "Bikers by Day, Ninjas by Night."
Exposition. Yeah, I hope you think that's right. We're the good guys. They're the bad guys. They're bikers. We're in a band. We're both ninjas. Something like that, right? I think it's how it goes.
It's something along those lines.
We
Really,
spent some
yeah.
money to make this movie.
There's something. It's steal all your cocaine. Steal all your cocaine along with your life. Bikers by day, ninjas by night. Something about a fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's singing to the audience what we just saw.
The fucked up thing is when the movie's on, or I put on that vinyl record, as I often do, I can tell you every word. But now that we're talking about it, I'm like, something about a ninja.
It's because you can hear yourself.
I can, and I don't like it.
Arizona Beer House, 33 taps, 800 plus cans and bottles. You can do it for here. You can do it to go. You can do whatever you want, except that.
That's right, Arizona Beer House at 150 South Kolb in Tucson, Arizona.
Sunday, 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 and every other day of the week.
Open 11 a.m. to midnight.
We're going to say the whole can, but you're only going to need the tip.
I need the tip.
During the opening credits sequence, there's like a montage of stuff, and it's the band playing, which we're then introduced to right after, and then they start playing. But there's also ninja stuff.
He's the funny one.
There's also ninja stuff, and Yoshito, who is like the head of the bad guy biker gang, ninjas, does a fire chopping thing, right? He lights the bricks on fire with his hands, presumably with magic.
Yeah, he focused up his chi.
And then he chops through, and I only want to mention it because
as one does.
I only want to mention it because we did sidekicks for our Shitbird month last year.
Oh, that's right. And Uncle Mako?
Mako, yeah. Dude, they do that thing where they light the bricks on fire. That little kid from Sidekicks punched through like 8 bricks.
Yeah.
This dude only punched through like 3 of the 14 he has stacked up.
He's older, man.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
A fucking pussy.
Can you imagine focusing that fire chi at the wrong moment? Like either fooling around with a lady or masturbating. I was like,
the moment of climax.
Yeah. Oh, roasted my wiener. There we go.
That's the best and worst orgasm I've ever had.
Now get me the cream. Not that cream.
Oh, I gotta start over.
Not the cream I just made. Ooh.
But so we have Yoshito meeting up with Jeff. I just love it's Yoshito, which is like a name. And everybody else in this movie is
Jeff,
Jim, John, Tom, Jack, Jane, Mark.
Any Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Like the whitest fucking names.
Well, I did read that, or no, I think I saw it in the interview with YK Kim. So he had this guy, the drummer, write the movie. Didn't know anything about screenwriting, so he bought a book about screenwriting and read that, and then wrote the script because of, like what he read in there.
I wonder if it's like the big screenwriting book that all these people talk about, like the save the dog moment.
Save the cat.
Save the cat. Because you know that guy only ever wrote one screenplay, and it's called Blank Check. So
it could be the one, and I don't remember. I think it's just called screenwriting or on screenwriting or something. The one that I had to buy for school when I was in film school, and it was Lawrence Kasdan wrote it.
Way to name drop.
I gave Lawrence Kasdan $45 for a book I read quarter of.
I mean, depending on the percentage he gets from royalties, I've given him a lot more than that.
I bought Save the Cat and I never fucking read it. It's still on my shelf somewhere.
Well, just know the guy that wrote it was not a huge success himself, you know.
Yeah, so fuck him.
So you might be doing the right thing by not reading that.
I mean, I bought that screenwriting book for school, and we're supposed to read it, but they talk about it all in class.
Yeah.
I got A's.
Yep.
You read it.
Definitely didn't read it.
You read it, you nerd. I'm not doing that.
I read the stuff that was interesting, like where he talked about anecdotes from Star Wars.
I like that. Still got that book.
But this is where we start right out with the bad acting. They're going into this club.
Oh boy.
The Park Avenue Club, I learned in the credits it's called.
Okay, real quick. For people that have not seen this movie, pause this podcast and watch it.
Yes.
But also, don't listen to Whitney on the couch or the Phantom of the Couch, because this is going to set the tone with just some of the worst acting you'll ever fucking see. It's so good.
I mean, it's bad, but I've seen worse. But from some, except for White Kim.
Barely.
When we're done, I'm going to throw in Action USA that Steve mentioned, and then we're going to watch Champagne and Bullets.
Okay.
And you're going to go, oh.
I mean, the best actor
Tough
in
Guys
this
Don't
movie-
Dance.
Tough
yeah.
Guys Don't Dance. Yeah.
I know that one.
But two of those movies, by the way, have Wings Hauser. I'm just throwing that out there.
No,
Yeah.
it's as far as on this show, some of the worst.
Yeah.
On this podcast.
But it's Yoshito's like, we scored a new shipment of Coke. It's the best.
Okay.
And then when they go inside, I love because they see the band playing. We get it's a new dimension in rock and roll or something. A new dimension in sound is
Yeah.
what the club owner says. And they see them up on stage, and Jane is up there. Jane, as we find out, is Jeff's sister. And Yoshito's like, "Is that your sister? Does she work here?" And this moment, the first time I watched this movie, I rented it on Amazon. And this
Wish I would have
moment,
bought it.
yeah, this moment is what convinced me that I was going to like the rest of this movie, because Jeff puts his hands up before he speaks and then goes, "I don't know what she's doing here.
Yeah,
she's
you're-
not supposed to be," or something
You're
like
pretty fucking close to the delivery too.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
I don't know what she's doing here. She's supposed to be at home.
At least he says his sentences in complete sentences. Unibrow.
Yeah.
I have it written down later when he says something, but he's just like, "We need to do like."
I guarantee you he's got crib notes on his hand of his fucking lines.
But yes, this is also where we hear "Friends Forever." We'll be together through thick and
I
thin.
don't
Loyalty,
care what
honesty.
anyone says. This song fucking slaps. I will listen to this song any day of the goddamn week, and I will die on that fucking hill.
Steve gets it.
I love it. Like I said, I bought the vinyl, and you think I play it when my wife's home? No, but so I'm listening to it when I'm in the house alone at full blast,
Yeah.
like
Fucking right.
sweeping the floor like against the ninja.
Oh man, that's why I've come into work with that station on.
I'm in there cooking dinner. I'm a tough guy.
That's the song I fucking go number 2 to.
Yeah.
I'm a tough guy.
So we go to the University of Central Florida. I'm only going to mention the class that Jane is in because it's like some kind of computer programming thing. But this teacher comes up to her and he's like, "Good circle."
That's a good looking circle. Wow. Holy shit.
Also, he does mention that they were in a programming competition. He's like, "Here's the rankings. We got 4th place." And he's like, "Well, that could be good, except for you wrote the rankings and there's only 4. So he's like, "We sent a team. They got 4th. Congratulate them." Like, that looks like
Out of
last.
4. Out of 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to mention how many people are actually in that tournament.
I thought there would be like 50, but you're right. Yeah, he has it like right there. It's like, oh no, there's only 4.
Let's just
Good for you. I mean, you went, I guess.
let's just believe that there was like 1,000 teams, and he's like, "I'm only recording the top 4. Like I'm cutting off when wherever we are is the cutoff."
Yeah.
I guess that's it. He's like, "I had to write University of Central Florida. I'm out. I'm done. My chalk broke." But John comes and takes her out of class, and I hate his fucking goofball routine. I was sitting there watching him, and I'm like, so
Fuck's
he's
sakes, man.
30 something, and she's 25, and he's doing these goofy faces, and I'm just like, this girl is like, God, fuck this.
Also, you don't have to make goofy faces when this is your face. Just
Yeah.
look at her.
Also,
Yes,
did you
it
know that Jane in real life was
Girlfriend to Jim.
Angelo Gelati.
or-
Gelati? Angelo Gelato. Angelo Gennati, the guy that wrote the songs. That's his real girlfriend.
Oates?
Or was. Yeah.
Hall & Oates?
Yes.
That's his trucking name. He has a company that just drives oats all around the country. Hall & Oates. So yes, I do remember talking about that, where that is his girlfriend. and they kind of had to get him off set. And he's like, they waited to have the two characters kiss when he wasn't there.
Yeah, well, the thing I read said
Could you
there
grab
was
us
like
some granola?
there was a kissing scene, and they sent him to buy beer.
Perfect.
I think I read that on Wikipedia, so someone could just put it in. But I like
time for the hand job scene. What?
But they go out and they're like walking together, and his conversation starter is just so like, do you have any family or anything?
Yeah, I want to know more.
So weird, so fucking weird, man. Who does that? Like, oh yeah, so how's your family? Also, yeah, that's super fucking suspicious because we now know that like her brother is in a fucking gang. So him coming up and just suddenly asking about that makes him look like a fucking narc, like right away.
I didn't even think about that because this guy looks too dumb to be one.
What's your brother been up to?
Yeah.
Huh? Any interesting family stuff you got to talk about?
Hey, do you have a brother? Like, also, I'm looking for some blow. Like 2 pounds. 2 pounds.
The legal trafficking is what? 2 pounds. We'll do 2 pounds. Let's get that there. Yeah, it's because it doesn't seem like a first date. It seemed like you've known each other for a while, and you just finally got the balls to be like, so what's up with your family?
Yeah, exactly.
Any crazy in there?
And it's a running thing through this because he's like, do you have family? Is how he starts it. Not what is up with your family, but do you have family? Which everyone has
Do you
family.
know why?
And then later on,
The
YK
theme
Kim-
is family.
No, close. This is a band of orphans.
Yeah.
They want to see, like, if she has family, they're gonna kill him.
Well,
You're in this band, you have no
Oh.
parents. It's like being a
Well,
superhero, dude.
luckily for her, her mom died.
Oh
but
yes.
her dad left them, and then her mom died right after that, and then her
Yes.
dad died. So
Sweet.
So she's an orphan. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna make it in this industry. None of us have parents, except for Jim.
Yeah. Now he's got a dad. They got to kill him.
Don't worry,
my
they're cooking
God.
something up.
They're like, oh, good, someone we can inherit something from. This house is falling apart.
Kill the Jim's dad.
But he meets Jeff, Mork Norris, right out of the gate. First of all, Jeff wearing this dangly earring. This one has like a tooth
Oh, I
or
need
like
this earring.
a fang. I don't know what this is. Some kind
Yeah.
of carved bone. Later on, he's just got a feather.
I need both of those earrings.
Why is it always a dangly earring?
I need them. I love this though, because Monster Phelps comes in, tries to be nice, like, hey, I've heard a lot about you, about the business, the family business, and he's like, who the hell is this? Oh, it's my friend. And he gets when he says that this is my friend, when she says this is my friend, you might as well have said like, oh, he's been banging me unprotected in your room.
yeah.
Like he reacted like the worst thing ever. He's like, a fucking friend. Ugh, not my sister.
You don't have time for friends.
Is
You're in college.
fucking insane. My God, fucking wild. Like he goes from 0 to 500, like just like that.
Did
like
you say the
Jesus
F word?
Christ.
What F word? Friend.
Then we have this scene back at the club, and there's this other band who, okay, well, I guess we needed this, but this other band who's confronting the club owner because they were fired in favor of Dragon Sound. And I want to mention real quick, this guy who plays the lead of this band,
This is the best actor in the movie.
he was a real life federal prosecutor.
Wow. Dude, he is so fucking good in this movie because he just starts at 10 and never takes it down.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
I once I found out he was a prosecutor, I was like, I don't want him to be like, I don't want to be defending against him because he's got this voice like this.
Well, he just calls
It's so
everybody a
fucking
fucking
intense.
turd and a tit and a shit, and he's just yelling the whole fucking time. Give my fucking job back, you fucking turd.
He's just thinking of all those mobsters he put away, all those ninjas that he put away.
You think Cocaine Ninja Biker Gang is new to me? I'm from Orlando.
And they get into this like fight, but the club owner keeps screaming, "Your music's for old people."
Did anybody else really want to hear this band?
I do.
Little bit. I
wanted-
wanted to see what the fucking difference was. Like, okay, let's see how shit they actually are.
Because we're
This
talking,
club owner, like, just fucking lays these guys out like they
God
are
bless ya.
nothing.
yeah, he
Like,
whoops
my
them all
God.
up. And not only,
Jesus Christ.
not only does he whoop him up, he whoops him up, and then our federal prosecutor guy's like, "Next time I'll fucking kill you." Like you and 6 dudes just got your ass beat.
Nobody
Yeah,
in this movie
you're not
seems,
doing shit.
nobody in this movie seems to have the solution of let's shoot these people.
Yeah,
That's always like, did you get rid of that band yet? No, we fought them and they won.
yeah. Well, we saw what happened at the beginning
Yeah.
when the drug dealers tried to shoot ninjas. They think the same thing's gonna happen.
there is a quick conversation between Yoshido and Jeff about how he needs to get rid of the band or whatever, but Yoshido's like, you have to get rid of that band so you can get control over this area. I'm pretty sure Jeff has control over the crime. I don't think Dragon Sound is a crime fighting outfit until Jeff keeps pulling them in.
I mean, maybe there's some deleted shit they're supposed to be, but yeah.
They play music and they're friends forever, and they do the taekwondo for fun.
But here's the problem:
he's literally just mad because they took their job at the club. They're spinning it as like they're taking over their crime syndicate, and I'm like, they're really not. You can still go do all your crime shit.
Okay,
who cares?
okay. The band they replaced also sang exposition, but theirs was about like, go to the third stall on the right. We've got Coke, $5 for this bag, 10 for a double. Hey, you in the red shirt, don't you want some cocaine?
You look like you do. I love that my nose
I'm
is
talking
running.
to you.
I love that my nose is running and I keep sniffling while we're talking about cocaine.
I think that's like a Pavlovian response. It's like, did you say cocaine? Oh, there goes my boogers.
No, it's because it was fucking 70 degrees last week and now it's 92 again.
I know.
I don't know the conversion to Celsius to make that make sense. Steve,
it's been kind of the same thing here. It was really cold like last week, and then this week the fucking temperature shot right back up.
Yeah,
it's like May again.
Yeah, it feels bad.
Yeah,
that's okay. We're only a few days away from Halloween while we're recording this. Spoiler alert for those listening.
Yeah.
Then we have Against the Ninja being played in the club, and this is what the note I took was Jim's dancing is everything.
Every fucking thing.
He plays the keyboards. He has two. Well, this song I think he only has one, but next time he's got two.
Well, he's a fucking famous Michael Jackson brother, isn't he? Isn't he a Tito?
But he is just grooving, and he's
you ever heard of the Jackson 6?
He's one of the people who doesn't know how to play an instrument or do taekwondo.
Right.
I think they were like, well, we got to hire. So we have a quota to fill. I don't know.
Monster Phelps is trying to pantomime, and it's decent, but it's not real.
Yeah.
Jim's is not real. YK Kim's is some of the worst. He is making love to that guitar instead of pretending to play it.
He's like just slapping the shit out of the strings too. I'm like, dude, you're not playing fucking bass right now, man.
Do you want to get a room, you two?
Half the time he's not even touching the guitar. Most of the time he's just doing taekwondo.
Yeah. You know, they're all like, do we really have to have this guy in the band? Well, he can kick all of our asses. So yeah.
He pays the rent because he's got inheritance from someone.
He's 40 years old. He's retired. He's got his AARP card.
He retired from the military. He got done early. Then there's this fight in this like bar district, and I told Whitney while we were watching this because we're going on a cruise in
This is
February.
New Orleans, dude.
So that's what we said last time. This looks exactly like New Orleans. It looks like a part of New Orleans, but I looked it up. It was a real like bar district. I can't remember what they called it now. In Orlando, and I was gonna go there. I was like, I'm gonna go to one of these places. That taco place that's next to them. It looks like because it's like a Southwestern building.
I couldn't imagine a worse place to get tacos than Florida.
Oh no, it would be awful. But I want to go just so I could fight a ninja. But like, I looked it up, and apparently, it shortly, like in the 90s, after this, it degraded and became a really bad area. And then some fucking crypto boy, like capital. What are they called? Venture capitalist type dude. Bought the area and he was going to revitalize it and basically try to make more money off it.
Then he got herpes.
But then he got arrested for a Ponzi scheme and it was seized.
As it goes.
So now there's real ninjas there?
There might be.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
But there's this big fight that it's the singer from the other band. He's like, you took our job. And fucking YK Kim's like, no, the manager gave us. I can't do it.
It's fine. We didn't take your job. It's given to us. You know what I'm saying? Is the thing on?
you got to take it up with the manager.
It's not my fault. I didn't take your job.
Mine just sounds like fucking Bruce Glover's dad, or Bruce Glover is the dad. Sounds like Bruce Glover. Hey guys, what you doing?
Wait, who's Bruce Glover?
He's Crispin Glover's dad. He's a. If you see him pop up in movies, he's a character actor. He becomes later on very mush mouth. Like he's probably done a lot of drugs.
Oh, okay. Well, he had Crispin
guys,
Glover.
Let's go hang out. Hey, you got a cigarette I can bum? I do like the one guy like comes over to the singer's like, we're gonna fucking show you, and this dude comes over and is like, you want some beer, and starts pouring it on him. And fucking Monster
Real
Phelps
threatening, by the way.
has to lean in to get the beer poured on his head.
I mean, they all just sit there and take it, and they grab, I think it's Unibrow, it could be Hall & Oates. Like they pull him out of the car and there's no resistance whatsoever. I'm like, you guys are supposed to, according to your lyrics, fight the ninja.
Well, these aren't ninjas. These are just fat guys.
They're trying to be ninjas. They're ninja adjacent.
Because these guys haven't joined up with Jeff's gang yet, so they didn't get the ninja cred.
Oh, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Okay, I forgot. I was thinking it was all Jeff's crew.
But YK Kim, of course, is the ass kicker of this sequence. He's just taking out like 3-4 dudes at a time, and it's always goes into like slow motion and like that's. Look, YK Kim made this great movie.
Yes.
But this man's face should not be shown in slow motion freeze frame
4K. Yeah, I'm trying to be gentle about it, but it's a haunting face. He has deep features and just terrible mannerisms.
It's like a pissed off jack-o'-lantern.
That you left out in the sun for a little too long.
Also, by the end of this sequence, we have reached 12 men grunting.
Oh wow.
I was taking it throughout my notes. I was like, this many, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't forget.
Where are we? Oh, we're at 34 men grunting. Gotcha.
12 men grunting, 11 men groaning, 10 ninjas flipping,
Oh, yeah, so 10 ninjas kicking. So close.
9 swords going clang.
7 orphans rocking.
Oh, you skipped 8.
Oh, I don't like 8.
Oh, okay.
It's a bad number.
So back at the house, Jim gets a letter from Washington, D.C. And Monster Phelps, being 11 and a half feet tall, is like
Come and get it.
teasing him, like,
Oh.
you gotta try harder than that.
You gotta be quicker.
Like that fucking Geico commercial.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, give me the damn letter. Like, it's just squeal.
Give it to me, the letter. It's not fair. Give it. And this is where the all male porn starts, because everyone comes up like, "What are you trying to do? Wake the neighbors? Bring them over. Come on."
Well, YK Kim and Monster Phelps are both wearing sleeveless shirts. Everybody else is shirtless.
Yeah.
And I think 2 of them have their pants undone.
Yeah.
Look, I've had roommates. This is not how we hung out.
This might be a normal house, but they have a communal shower.
And they, and they all
time.
take it at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's not that there's enough room. They're like, hey, it's shower time, and everyone just jumps in. We're college students.
This is Diddy's side house.
All right, guys, it's time to shower, Diddy style. It's better than R. Kelly style.
Is that LeBron James in a French maid outfit? I don't know if you guys saw that one, but
no.
that's going around too. I think it has something to do with the Diddy thing, and there's pictures of LeBron James dressed like a French maid.
How's he look?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's LeBron James.
I bet.
But he's telling them now that he's been trying to find his father, and this is when YK Kim is like, wait, you have a father?
I thought you were an orphan like the rest of us. I didn't know I had parents. I thought you were just like in the hatch and
Dear
an egg.
God, that's not how it works, dude. Like, come on, Jesus Christ. You still have mothers and fathers, my dude. Like, come on.
And I don't know if we can stress enough
Jesus.
how awful this delivery is from YK Kim. In a movie
Oh my
of bad
God.
deliveries, this is king.
Oh, yeah, it gets me every single time.
But I love it.
Oh, it's so bad. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
And Jim gives his his attempted Oscar speech here.
Oh,
Is when he gets emotional. And I maybe it's the correct way to say it, but at this point in time, it's very funny to hear him. He's like, my mother was Korean and my father was Black American. And I just can't stop.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I mean, this is where I think we coined the term Giuseppe's, like
Yes.
the fake Oscars, because this guy is giving his all. This is the best fake cry in a terrible movie you'll ever see.
This scene, yes, is where we came up with that in that first, episode 7, which is available on our Patreon at patreon.com/worstpeople.
$3 a month.
It's we never carried through with it because it's a lot of extra work. But watching this movie made me think we need to do a Giuseppe's Awards.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
We can work on it.
Yeah, Steve, because I was like, who's Giuseppe's shitty younger brother?
Or who's Oscar's
Or
shitty
who's
younger
Oscar's
brother?
shitty younger brother?
Oh.
And Jack said Giuseppe.
So we're going to
Alright.
give our own awards to terrible
I like
movies
that.
that have great moments.
Best crying. This movie's gonna win a lot of them.
It really is. Best monster face.
Oh, God, yeah.
We just make up categories too. It's not even like best actor, best actress.
I mean, best ball shot. This might have it, but then again, we've also covered the labyrinth. David Bowie's crotch usually wins.
There's one more thing. Jim is like, my mom told me to find my dad, whatever, but he's like, I didn't like him because he left us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, yeah, no shit, dude.
I didn't like him because he left us.
Then we cut to the beach and we're playing grab ass in the ocean. It's all the band. I was gonna say the gang, but that's the other people.
No, they're kind of a gang. Just we like them.
they're the good gang.
Good gangs.
But they're playing grab ass in the ocean. They go driving down. This is when Whitney pointed out their car is fucking filthy, and I was like, well, it's because they didn't clean it after the fight.
Yeah, it's just been romping around this fucking set, just getting all greasy.
But they're scoping out babes.
But
Babes.
something happens in this that I absolutely hate when it's showing like babes and butts and boobs, and then at one point it cuts to like a little girl in her bikini in the shower. I'm like, why are we doing this? Why are we cutting to this, dude?
Yeah,
and then there's like a
that's
little
so
boy
weird.
building a sandcastle, but the camera keeps going over, and then it's girls' butts, and it's like, let's not.
If you're trying to get us to think about butts, boobs, and babes, keep it on the 3 Bs.
Yeah, but also they definitely didn't have this beach shut down. These aren't extras.
True, true.
Although I was going to say they weren't shooting with permits, and they weren't, but I did read, or no, I think Kim said it again in the interview that he was so like popular with local businesses and politicians and whatnot because he was a well-known figure in that area.
Yeah,
that they all basically were like, yeah, it's cool, man. Come shoot your movie.
makes
So-
sense.
He didn't have to pay for locations, which is nice.
Because from what I understand, he had a bunch of dojos all over Florida or
Oh, yeah.
Orlando, rather.
Yeah. I do like when Hall & Oates there is doing he's trying to flex, but he's literally pushing up his arm with his finger. Like,
Should have had the guy behind you do it.
like this is me when I'm fucking 6 years old. Like, roar, yeah, look at that.
Quick, give me a tennis ball. I'm gonna stuff it in my sleeve. She'll never see it coming.
And Jane is very nice because I'm pretty sure it's Monster Phelps who has the line, they don't make buns like those down at the bakery.
Well, huh.
And then immediately starts making out with Jane. So
I just saw that girl's butt and I'm all horny. Make out with me, mama.
these people have to be actors or
They
like
have lines.
cast because Hall & Oates does this thing where he's trying to hit on these girls, and there's one who kind of looks like Juliette Lewis shoves him over.
I was thinking Jennifer Grey.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. She has like the mouth the Juliette Lewis thing,
Yeah, I
but
gotcha.
she shoves him and he lands on all these girls, and they're all trying to like slap him and beat him up, but they're all just giggling.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, this guy is so hard right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can't play it cool. My girlfriend's over there making out with Monster Phelps, dude.
This is what they did. They shot the kissing scene while he was being fondled by women, so he wouldn't feel so bad about it.
Do you want to come over here in a minute? I can't stand up right now. Got a cramp or something. I don't know.
By the way, we do include a men grunting subtitle in this one too.
They finally
Makes
added
sense.
some females to this porno.
So they keep telling him to leave, and they're like, leave, but they're slapping him like down into the ground. Like he can't fucking leave. I'm like, you're literally pinning him there. Like, what do you want?
Fetish unlocked.
Keep your clothes on.
Get out of here. You literally just chained me.
Then we see like Jeff's gym. It's not better than Gold, worse than Gold's gym.
Jeff's gym is. I want this spin off of Jeff's gym.
I do too, because these characters, there's Fat Ginger in jeans.
Humpty Dumpty, please, because he is all top, no bottom. He's wearing, I don't know if they're supposed to be skinny jeans, but he is like Danny DeVito's fucking put into yoga pants.
Oh my god.
It looks like DeVito in the penguin suit without the stuff on though.
You've also got Skid Rock.
Oh, yeah, that's what we ended up calling him. I couldn't remember what we called him last time. I called him Yellow Wolf this time, which is kind of the same thing. Skid Rock, Yellow Wolf.
Yeah.
And then there's a guy that looks a lot like Karate's bad boy Mike Barnes.
Oh, okay, I was gonna go with Rat Boy. I like
That might
yours.
not be the one I was thinking of. It might be because there's a few guys. The one that the band leader guy comes in and talks to, he's like, I need to talk to your boss. He
fucking
looks like
Karate Nathan Fillion.
okay, yeah. He looked a lot like Karate's bad boy Mike Barnes, which for those who don't know,
I don't know who Mike Barnes is.
Karate Kid 3,
Mm.
the one with Terry
Oh, I haven't
Silver.
seen that in a
Terry
long
Silver, yeah.
time.
Yeah, he's
Who is
the
actually younger than the actor Ralph Macchio in that movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like it's supposed to be such an age gap, and it's like no. Ralph Macchio's got like 2 or 3 years on Terry Silva.
Well, in Cobra Kai, you could tell he was older because his hair was all gray.
Uh-huh.
So, but yeah, it's the guy that Terry Silva hires or like trains to take out Daniel LaRusso.
Yeah.
Karate's bad boy, Mike Barnes. That's how they say it almost every time in the movie. So that's how I've always said it. So yeah, he wants to speak to the boss. Jeff comes out. He's like, we need your help. These guys took our jobs.
They took our jobs.
But they're all black belts in Taekwondo, and they're pretty bad.
They're real bad customers.
And then his deal is, I want to hire you to take these guys out so we can get our job back.
And any money I make from the band, you get all of it.
What?
Fucking why? What? Yeah, exactly. Like, what in the actual fuck? That is the worst business model I have ever fucking heard. I'm going to take all the money I earn and just give it right back to you, and I'm going to just fucking live on the stage, I guess.
I got it. He's going to give him all the money from that, but he gets the rights to toys and all the retail. And any sort of
goddamn
spin-off. Yeah, go full Lucas, dude.
All right, you can have all the money, but I get the rights to the merchandising.
You got to kick the shit out of this Dragon Sound band. Sounds like some stupid Star Trek shit anyway.
There's no sound in space unless it's my movies.
So that's that. Then we get my least favorite scene of the movie because it takes so long. It's the YK Kim doing like a kata, like floor workout thing. Taekwondo.
We don't need it. It's a demonstration, right, with other people?
Yeah. Well, it's a demonstration for his two students.
Yeah.
For Monster Phelps and Unibrow.
I'm sorry. I think that he's using this moment to sell his Taekwondo-ness.
Yeah. And I mean, there is a Chekhov's gun moment in this scene because we have YK Kim does his thing and then he fights Unibrow. And there is that moment, though, at the end of their fight where he like goes to punch him in the mouth.
You think he's going to do Mr. Miyagi from Karate Kid 2, where he's like, live or die, wrong answer, honk. And he honks his nose. No. He does not honk the nose.
No, this is the first of 2 times that he forces something into this man's mouth.
He fucking...
Well, that we know of.
On camera.
But
yeah,
but I mentioned that there's like a Chekhov's gun moment, and that's the next fight with Monster Phelps, which is like another exercise, and Phelps has the little fake knife.
Yeah.
And it shows YK Kim like disarming him, and then like he sneaks up behind him, and YK Kim takes it from him and stabs him in the stomach. That's exactly how the last fight goes. So at least that screenwriting book said something about Chekhov's gun.
Yeah. Introduce this and then do it later.
But he does do the thing, as I think it's to Phelps, where he pinches his nose with his toes.
You betcha.
Oh
all right, well, back to Mr. Miyagi, Karate Kid 2. Now he does do the nose honka honka.
He's like, well, I can't do it. Pat Morita already did that. You know what? I can do it with my feet.
Not better.
Well, because Taekwondo...
They'd like plan their world tour to promote Taekwondo and happiness or friendship or something.
Yeah, they're
Oh, it's the hardest cut, by the way, because this is like it's supposed to be like a kind of actiony scene with like a little bit of picked up music, and then it's a hard cut to these 3 sitting at a table, dead silent, eating.
And
like, when do you fart?
This was the point where I had the line of Unibrow where he was pausing so much because they're talking about writing a new song about whatever.
This is the worst he does.
And he says, "It's I'd love to help you write that song, but Jeff and his damn gang selling their stupid cocaine."
Cocaine? Question mark.
He's like, "What drug are they selling?"
Have we tried giving this guy cocaine? It might punch up the performance a wee bit,
but we get to learn a little bit about all of our heroes here because they're like, we're going to go to a world tour of all the countries that we come from.
We're going to go to Ireland.
Go to Ireland.
I like Ireland.
And Unibrow's like, sure. We'll also go to Israel, which is where my family's from, and Italy, which is what the fuck is his name?
Hall & Oates.
Yeah, but, whatever. Which is Hall & Oates' home country. I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's from America.
Well, I was expecting YK Kim to get mad, like, wait, you have parents too? And you have parents? This is fucking, it's fucking bullshit. I thought we were all fucking orphans here.
Am I the only one that was grown in a tube?
Well, to be fair, he's the only one who looks like it.
Should have left him in a little longer.
That's what happened to his face. They left him in too long.
Left him too long.
Yeah.
No, he
squished.
He did the little teleportation from the movie The Fly, except somehow a jar of Play-Doh got put in there with him. What is that? Oh, no,
That's
it's,
it.
It's
That's
silly,
it.
buddy.
Oh, if I fall asleep on a newspaper, it sticks to my face.
Did you fall asleep at the table? No. Well, the family circus is on your face. So shitty ass family circus.
Oh, so they go, or we cut to Uncle Song's restaurant, and this is the director, Woo Sang Park. And there's these tough dudes, I want to say before they stand up.
This is the dick shot coming up.
These guys are sitting in there eating and making a ruckus, and they get up to do dine and dash. They're like, I'm not paying for this shit. But this dude in the group, this black dude, is his shorts. I've seen basketball from like the 70s, and these are shorter than those.
I'm wearing boxer briefs right now that are longer than these shorts. I'm not even joking.
I'm pretty sure that I've like seen girls wearing like boy shorts that might have been longer than these.
I've seen less butthole on a stripper.
Like this guy turns and it's just like
It's an absurdly tiny amount of shorts.
like
Yeah,
I'm wondering
that is insane. Like it's all I could like basically stare at during the scene. I'm like, I don't know what else is going on because what is happening with those shorts? My God.
And it's not your fault because you come eye to eye with his religion. I mean, like you're just fucking staring him right in it. Like, oh, hello there.
Yeah.
Well, I no longer have to wonder what your penis looks like.
they had to cut out some of the fight shots because it kept flopping out.
Don't kick. Don't kick.
It's like Billy Madison. You see that guy's balls?
All old and weird looking.
But Uncle Song proceeds to beat the shit out of all these guys, and then Dragon Sound shows up
wearing a Mickey and Minnie mouse apron.
That's awesome. I knew he was wearing an apron. I didn't notice that.
It was definitely a Mickey and Minnie mouse apron. Like, what a fucking badass.
I wish he was wearing one of those ones where it looks like a skinny bikini lady.
That would have been ideal.
Instead of kiss the chef, it would be kick the chef.
Okay, so Dragon Sound shows up.
I mean, that joke is chef's kick.
And they're like, oh man, I want to learn how to beat people up like you did. And I'm like, we just watched you guys kick like 42 people's asses.
You've actively been doing that.
But this is like a whole Taekwondo lesson where he's like, it's not about violence and this and that. And then it has like a
short
weird
size.
it's a weird transition to them performing on stage. But YK Kim talks about how Taekwondo is about beauty and whatever. And this is when he's doing the kick thing on stage and he grabs fucking
Jim's nose. Again, back to Jim's dancing being everything though, dude. He is working them fucking shoulders, dude.
Oh yeah.
That's what I mean. He's doing like a whole like it's shoulders and hips, but like I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't have the rhythm for it.
I
so.
have that same dance when I watch somebody slicing or like cutting up ribs. You'll see.
If you see the video version of this, you'll see me trying. It's not good.
Oh, dude, he's got it like it's the whole body.
While he's playing, and he's doing such a good job.
He's doing it while he's getting his nose pinched by toes.
That's true too.
And all I gotta wonder is, you got like a fucking foot pad down there. You're gonna wipe your foot off before like each take. Don't just barefoot.
No.
Yeah.
Don't Florida barefoot my face with your foot.
Did you see the bottom of his feet
Oh,
on the outdoor
yeah.
scene
at least?
No,
Filthy.
I only look at women's feet, buddy. My foot fetish is not universal.
Then they have a note stuck to the car to meet downtown at the railroad tracks. And I incorrectly thought this was the end of the movie. This is where the movie ends, this location.
Yes,
but not this time.
Yeah.
This movie is a sequence of fights for the most part.
Yeah.
Sure, sprinkle in a little fucking band, but the rest is just like you could it's like 5 chapters of brawls.
Yeah.
Not a complaint.
No. It's pretty much ideal.
Yeah.
Fights with musical interludes of
Because
awesome music.
If I have to go to the bathroom and get not pause this, is going to be during one of the songs.
Because you can still hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
They're not gonna look at the song.
Have they done the Taekwondo song yet?
I think so.
Oh man.
I think
that's
during
against the
foot.
ninja, isn't it?
That's during the foot.
Yeah. I love the chant. Taekwondo.
Oh, so does YK Kim.
Oh my God.
Dude, his face is so great.
So him doing that and yelling and chanting is 100% believable. All these other guys doing it is believable, but they have Jane singing. And when she's doing like Taekwon, and doing the fist, I'm like, I can see it in her face. It's a lot like when Phelps earlier was making goofy faces at her. She's just like, what has my life become?
Well, I told you I'd be an actor one day, Dad.
Taekwondo.
I made it.
I made it, and I didn't even have to do porn.
Might have been better to do porn.
Would have made more money.
You would tell your parents about that before you tell them about this.
Well, not now. When you
No,
did it, though, yeah.
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 There was a bunch of scenes with men grunting, a bunch of shirtless dudes all share a house and a shower and towels. You sure you didn't do porn?
And
Pretty
underwear.
sure I didn't do porn.
Hey, but she's not topless,
That's true.
so she can tell her parents about it.
There's a lot of toplessness in this movie. It just ain't chicks.
There's some coming
hold
up.
on, wait for it.
It turns out if you pay a bunch of bikers and their ladies with beer,
You're
they
gonna
just
see
take
some.
their shirts
You're gonna
off.
see some clackers.
But so Jeff and his gang are waiting at the tracks. I just took note of crazy ADR because it's the federal prosecutor guy. When he says, like, they're talking about them showing up and he's like, they're dead meat. But like, either his mouth didn't move or it moved a completely different way. And it's so like gravelly, like he's had a gravelly delivery,
Yeah,
but it's just literally like, they're dead meat.
it's somebody
his
trying to
mouth
do his
isn't-
voice.
Yeah.
Well, he's always yelling. Let me try this real quick. You're dead, mate. Should have done that. He's just a biker, cocaine ninja, cowboy fanboy.
So they have a rumble. It's only the guys who actually know Taekwondo, which would be YK Kim, Monster Phelps, and Unibrow.
Yeah.
See, I have all their names written down here, and now I'm like, shit, what are the new names?
They're better names. Better names.
Well, they are, because listeners and us would be confused if I'm like, well, so Jim, Jack, Joe, and Jill walk into a bar.
No. Monster Phelps, YK Kim, Uni B. That's his rap name, Uni B.
But it's only those guys because they're the ones who actually know Taekwondo. Angelo Gennati did this movie because he was like, I'll write some songs for you.
Yeah.
And someone knew Jim. Like
Okay.
Maurice Smith, because he never acted again. He doesn't know Taekwondo. He can't play an instrument.
But he can cry on demand. Kinda.
Maybe that's it. They were like, who can get emotional and kind of cry?
They heard this guy crying at a bar one night. Like, what are you doing next weekend, dude? Looking for my father. Save that energy and use it.
I didn't. So there's just this big fight. We're not going to go through the whole thing. I did take note of the one guy whose head gets bounced off a fucking train wheel.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Because I was like, ow. There's not even
Yeah.
like a prosthetic or anything. So I think that guy really got his head bounced off of like an iron train wheel.
Did they already kidnap?
No, that's
Okay,
coming up.
That's coming up.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. I guess
Is this the same fight where YK Kim? I'm pretty sure he like kills someone with a metal bar. Like
No,
he
that's the
hacks
next time
somebody.
they're at the train yard.
Okay.
Yeah, because this
Okay.
one
Right now
it's-
they're still pulling punches, as it were.
well, Yellow Wolf and
Okay.
and this guy that looks like Corey Haim start fighting Monster Phelps. Just another random extra. If you go through the IMDb on this, it's just like ninja, Jeff gang, Orlando gang. It's insane.
And no one has a picture.
Bubba, whatever his name is, does nail face.
Nail face.
Yeah.
How could I forget?
So they're fighting John, but then the cops show up and everybody's like, it's the fuzz.
These cops are just the best line deliverers ever.
Real cops.
We gotta get. You could tell. He's like, we gotta do something about these Orlando gangs. Oh, you're telling me? Like, there's no. You should just be upset at gangs in Florida. Use it.
One of them also, they both take their guns out. One of them definitely points his gun while he's talking directly at the other guy's chest. Presumably because he's nervous about being on camera and not thinking about gun
No
safety.
fucking muzzle awareness, dude.
Because if those are real cops, those are real guns.
Yes.
He's also just like, I don't know, man, I'm a cop. What do you do with a gun? You point it at a person. There's no one else around. I'm pointing at him.
Not correct.
That's what they teach in cop safety school.
They don't teach that.
Sounds about
They
right.
don't have cop safety school.
It's called academy. Then there's a biker montage, which is the best I can do for that.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of bikers hanging out, partying, a
But
la the beginning of Stone Cold.
For sure. But it's the song, I'm a Tough Guy.
I'm a tough guy.
And
Oh my god.
I don't think I've ever heard a song that contradicts itself more. As soon as I hear you writing up to this song, I in fact don't think you're a tough guy.
Okay, so everybody here is like a real biker. So they're big, gruff, burly dudes, beards, tattoos,
Shoving nails in
leather.
their faces.
And then in the lead of this gang is our villain, Yoshito, who is wearing like the cleanest brand new leather jacket and like a white neckerchief that's flowing in the wind.
I'm going to go as far to say it's a scarf. It is a fucking scarf flowing in the wind, dude. Like a fighter pilot. It's tough. He's a tough guy.
Like if we've learned anything watching biker movies this year, and I think we have,
I hope so.
it's that biker gangs are all Nazis.
Yeah, for the most part.
I don't think Yoshito is leading a gang of bikers. Also,
You're going to tell me the Nazis weren't friends with Japanese people?
oh, that's
Check
fair.
your history books.
We're fighting with the Japanese now. Between you and me, they don't look very Aryan.
That's one of the best lines of Jojo Rabbit.
But so are these guys supposed to be the ninjas?
Bikers?
Yeah.
No, this is just like their bigger organization, I'm guessing.
Okay,
This
so
is how they
he's-
transport their cocaine. He's networking.
Okay, he's got the biker gang that does the selling and the ninja gang that does the stealing and killing.
Uh-huh.
And then they're
'Cause
all
we're gonna, dude, your plan is so stupid, by the way. Eventually, it's gonna get out like, hey, don't buy cocaine from this Yoshido dude. Why? Well, because every time someone buys cocaine from him, a group of ninjas miraculously shows up and takes all the shit.
Yeah.
and weirdly enough, there's one in white and he looks an awful lot like Yoshido until the end of the movie.
I saw both these guys do
Why
the
don't you
fire
look into
hand.
this?
Yeah, don't look too deep.
Well, at the end of the movie, it's definitely not him,
No.
but there's a reason for that.
Okay.
I'll tell you when we get there. But yes, so they're messing with some tough guys. There is a guy who dumps his bike doing donuts, which is funny because they left that in.
And everyone's just laughing.
And so many boobs.
Meaty clackers.
Like there's so many chicks that are just like, and everybody's staring directly at the camera too. She's like, "Hey!"
Yeah.
It's like early Girls Gone Wild.
Well, it's because they probably
Yeah, I was just gonna.
they probably told him like just party it up. Like, all right, and as they're getting a little more loose and getting a little paid more with a little bit more beer, like, hey, guess what? The girls are coming out now.
Yeah.
There's this one lady who's like a bigger lady, but she's in the first part they show. She's got her boobs out. She's out in front of the place partying in the next thing, and then inside the bar, she's standing next to
Jeff
Mark
and,
Norris. Yeah, and she's just got him out, and she's like, "Hey."
Oh, she's fucking funneling herself. She's giving herself a full breast exam while talking to Mark Norris. Sorry, I'm overdue for this.
And then there's that guy that puts a nail in his nose and went on to have a career.
Yeah.
And it's honestly terrifying.
Did you happen to get as upset as I did with Yoshido's lighting of his cigarette? Like the whole interaction, he asked the guy for a smoke, and then his hand,
Oh my god.
his hand holds the
I wanted to
cigarette.
slap him.
Yeah, dude, it looks like you've never held a cigarette in your life.
I didn't even
And then he
notice.
kind of like snapped to the guy to light it for him, and he does.
Yeah.
Like, these bikers are gonna eat you up, dude.
No, I was
Yeah.
watching in the background, seeing if anything extra insane happened.
Gotcha. No, it was as an ex-cigarette smoker, it was upsetting.
Well, this is my
Yeah, I concur.
this is like my sixth time seeing this in the last couple of years, so I'm just like, what's going on back there?
Well, and the extra work in this movie is phenomenal. If you're gonna just watch a movie to see background performers, this is a top-notch one.
Well, because they're just normal people who didn't know they were in a movie.
I wouldn't say normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
We go back to the house. YK Kim's blanket on his bed is a U-Haul moving blanket. Did you guys catch that?
Oh my god, I didn't catch that. Holy shit.
Like, not only is that not a blanket,
Hey, if it's good enough to keep my furniture warm, it's good enough to keep me warm on my furniture. You know what I'm saying? Thanks.
I don't need to get scratched when I'm trying to sleep.
Hey, what if I fall down? I gotta protect myself.
But that's the scratchiest blanket on the planet.
Yeah.
I have one hanging over my front door to keep the sun out.
I use one as a sound blanket.
Oh, perfect.
When we used to record in the back room, that's what I tried doing. I hung them up on all the walls. I was like, look, you gave them $15. If you bring them back, you get your money back. It looks like I spent $15.
$15 it is.
And when we need to move, bloop.
I gotta talk to you about a blanket guy.
This is also where YK Kim is force feeding everyone grapes.
Okay.
So the second time he's forcing food or things into people's mouths in this movie.
It's upsetting to watch anyone feed someone grapes, but the way he does it is the worst way to feed somebody grapes ever. He like palms it and puts his hand flush against your face.
It's a handful, and it's just.
It's just so weird. Like, could you imagine living in a house with somebody that actually fucking did that to you? Like, I'd be moving out the next day. I'd be like, no, like, I fucking no.
That's an eviction notice, even to myself.
Yeah.
You shove a grape in my mouth, and I walk into my room and start putting things in a suitcase.
Hey, that packing blanket we were talking about earlier, can I use that?
I gotta get this
I'm
dresser.
moving the fuck out right now. You popped a grape in my mouth. You slapped it into my mouth.
If he was popping them, that'd be one thing, just a little bloop. But he's just shoved.
I wonder what's happening here. Like he's just like, I need to do something in this scene. And I want to make sure that everyone knows nutrition is important, because if you're one of my students, you're going to eat right too.
I read in that book about directing movies, because he read one of those when he had to shoot reshoots. I read in that book about directing movies that people often eat in scenes to make something engaging action.
I've seen Brad Pitt in Ocean's 11.
Or Burn After Reading. He's eating all the time in that too.
I have a theory that Brad Pitt has such a strict regiment, like nutrition diet, that he's like, I'm not eating that food. My character Rusty is eating a plate of nachos. I don't eat nachos. I'm Brad fucking Pitt. I was in Fight Club shirtless. You see that shit? I was shredded. But if Rusty wants nachos for the scene, he gets nachos.
Double bacon cheeseburger. It's scripted. It says it right there in the
It's not
script.
for me. I'm just a method actor. Fine, I'll have sex with your wife. It's in the script.
So this is when Jeff's gang comes and kidnaps Hall & Oates from this Denny's parking lot.
And it's like it's the three knuckleheads that we like.
Yeah.
It's not the one that you Ninja Fillion, but there is Rat Boy, Danny DeVito in yoga pants, and Skid Rock.
Yeah.
That guy, Danny DeVito in yoga pants. I mean, it's coming up here, but like, they kidnap Tom. They take him back to the gym. Jane shows up. She's like, Tom, by the way, I wrote down the name. That's why I said Tom. Hall & Oates. She goes to the gym. She's like, where is Hall & Oates? And Danny DeVito in yoga pants is like, man, I ain't seen nobody since 1962.
What the fuck does that even mean?
I wondered the same fucking thing. I'm like, am I missing something?
I'm like, you're in a room with people.
You are in fact looking at me right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But she walks back there and
just to rewind. They had a good little jibes at the lead singer of the other band when they walked up all beat up with his never dried bandage.
Oh God, I forgot to mention that.
It's always wet. You might want to go see a doctor, by the way.
Yeah, that fight was at least 12 hours
But
ago.
as soon as they walk up, it's like, you get the number of that truck to hit you. Hey, you shouldn't hang out. We shouldn't go fighting Girl Scouts, buddy.
Chicka, indeed. So then we cut back to the train yard. Tom is tied up. Sorry, Hall & Oates is tied up.
Thank you.
Notes.
I was lost.
He's like crucified.
Yeah. So this is a part of the movie I kind of forgot, like not the whole scene, but I was like, damn, they just strung him up like fucking sacrificial style.
Yeah.
Some interesting choices and weapons too, as we're going through. Like they have these.
What are these pipes or these bars?
I don't fucking know. It looks like it's a rod.
Straight up just like PVC pipe with like an angled PVC on it. Like that's all it is.
They have like the spiky one. It looks like rebar.
They have the spiky ones too. Yeah.
Speaking of, Jim picks the actual PVC pipe. Like his is the worst. He's crawling through this, sneaking around. I'm like, you chose the world's worst weapon. You'd be better off with PCP pipes.
Yes,
at least you might get some super strength by licking the residue. Yeah. I don't feel nothing. Not even from my father. Go ahead, punch me harder. Oh.
You say PCP and all I think of is Friday.
My safe word's here.
When he's in the chicken coop.
Yeah. That's why I don't fuck with Hector no more.
But like, so YK and Monster Phelps are sneaking in one side, and Jim and Unibrow are sneaking in the other side. They're taking out guards. They're being sneaky. Like all of a sudden, these guys are actual ninjas, not just dudes who learned Taekwondo. My dad did Taekwondo classes when I was younger. It's the 80s. White guys had to do Taekwondo or some kind of martial arts.
Yeah.
I don't think my dad could ninja sneak.
Yeah, I don't think ninja and taekwondo don't necessarily go hand in hand.
Well, one's from
That's a
Japan and
wild
one's
guess.
from Korea.
Exactly.
Yeah, just a guess.
But yeah, they're doing some
My
ninja
dad,
shit.
my dad had some ninja stuff, dude. He definitely snuck out. No one noticed.
When did you guys finally notice? A year or two later?
Oh, he's gone. Oh no, I'm gonna be devastated.
My mom is gonna be so upset. One of these guys is fighting with the spiky stick, and it just like it's either made of rubber or snaps in half when he's trying to swing it. Did you guys notice
Yeah.
that?
No, I didn't see it.
He like swings it, and the whole thing just topples over, like a kid with an ice cream cone. The top falls off
Because this type of spiky stick doesn't exist. They made it out of sponge sugar.
It looks like it's supposed to be like rebar with like other pieces of rebar that's supposed to connect to something, and they just broke it out. But I don't know.
I'm not a mechanic.
I've never been on Forged in Fire. Let me put it that way.
I've seen every episode. I'll tell you what, brother.
How many people have to be helped by medical crews?
Oh, I'd say like 3 or 4, but you can always tell which ones they're going to be.
They look a lot like Danny DeVito in yoga pants.
Exactly.
This is when YK does cut that dude's neck with a practice katana.
Sure. Maybe one of the wooden ones.
That's because they're like the wooden katanas. I thought at first they just had the sheath still on. Like you'll see people do that in movies where they fight with it on and then they take it off when they get real serious.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Whitney pointed out, she's like, no, that's just the like practice ones. It's just a wooden.
I wonder
stick.
though if it's supposed to be a real sword for our benefit and just was shot with a dummy.
They're like, we're shooting at night. You can't see it. That's fine.
This will never be released in 4K. The fuck is 4K?
At this point, we're at 21 men grunting, brother.
When somebody, a time traveler said something about 4K, they thought that was how much money they were going to make.
That's a lot of money.
Wowie, wow, mister.
This is the 80s. That's a ton of money. I can buy a house.
Yeah. and a car.
Yeah.
Jeff and YK face off, and Jeff gets knocked off this causeway, whatever, this metal ramp that they're fighting on.
Sure.
And he dies, and his falling scream, he gets knocked off and just like,
It's, you know what? It is on par with his delivery the rest of this fucking movie. Everything before this.
Fair enough.
It's leading up to this moment.
And you know that was like, that had to have been recorded after, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, scream like you just fell. And he's like, ah. And they're like, no, do it again. Do it better. Ah.
Somebody involved in this movie knew what they were getting into right away. Like, that's the best we're getting. Cut, print.
We're not using any more tape on this guy.
Yeah. We're not getting
Budget's
better.
going up. Budget's going up. And by the end of this fight, we're at 29. So in the middle of this fight, we're at 21 men grunting. At the end of this fight, we're at 29.
Man.
A lot of men grunting.
29 men grunting.
At Yoshido's dojo, some guys come and tell him that his brother, question mark?
Yeah, Jeff is his
dead.
brother. Yeah, I'm thinking like blood brother or like maybe they banged the same biker chick. They're Eskimo brothers now. That's what happened off camera. That chick that was giving herself the fondlies, she was playing hot fingers and it translated over to a fucking game of Eiffel Tower.
Doing it with my bro.
You haven't been there. You ain't drinking at the right bars. Put a music box ad in right there.
Hey guys, I'm getting really antsy today. I've been in the house a couple days. I want to get out. Can we go somewhere?
I have some things to do. I mean, I don't know if you know this. Music Box, the adult beverage place that is, they have live music almost like minimum twice a week, sometimes much more.
I love
and
live
as
music.
a fan of somebody that likes staying on the east side, I can't think of a place that does as much live music with zero cover.
Can I get shots there?
You can get shots there. You can get drinks there. You can get beers there. You can get pudding shots. You can get Jello shots.
You're putting me on.
I am not putting you on. This is real.
Oh, they've got karaoke. They've got Unhappy Hour every Wednesday.
You know I love karaoke.
Saturday nights, they've got open mic stand-up comedy.
Yeah, so there's plenty going on over at the Music Box. We can go down there to 6951 East 22nd Street in Tucson, Arizona.
Oh, right there at 22nd and Culp?
Yeah.
Did I mention no cover? Like everything we just talked about is no cover.
No cover.
No cover charge ever. Just drink alcohol and enjoy your friends.
It's just like my insurance. There's no cover.
Music Box Lounge. Check it out.
All right, first round's on me, boys.
But we get He Will Not Escape the Miami Ninja, and then they have a whole scene where they're preparing to fight in this forest,
But
which
also
I'm pretty sure
training.
is also the forest that they fight in later.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's like the training outside their dojo. His dojo looks like it's somewhere in Japan. It looks like we're watching a fucking Japanese movie, but then suddenly they're back in Florida. I don't know.
Such as Florida.
It's fair.
You never know what you're going to get culturally.
Or just what you're going to get.
And you just never know what you're going to get. Full stop.
I ordered a rum and Coke, but I think there's a tablet in the bottom. Should I drink this?
Yeah, I ordered a pizza. There's an alligator eating my hand. I'm not sure how we got here.
I went to this guy to buy a bag of weed, and I don't know what this is, but he called it crocodile. He said it's just as good.
I went to go buy some weed off him. He's actually eating his face right now.
He looked like he had grayscale. So Jeff finally gets a letter from the Department of Defense, and it's my father. I found my father.
I found my father.
I like him now. I'm not mad anymore.
And I like that YK just volunteers everyone else's money.
Yeah.
He's like,
A fucking suit. That is so goddamn irresponsible. Like, are you fucking? Your house is in shambles. You guys are like,
You're
yeah, let's
sharing a
put
shower.
it on a suit. Yeah,
Well, and
and
also-
like, oh, he's gonna pick up his dad from the airport in a fancy suit, and that's gonna fucking solve his life. What?
That makes up for all the years of abandonment.
well, I love it because he asks Hall & Oates, he's like, how much money you got left? He's like, total? Oh, $200. And YK's like, well, I got 50. And Monster Phelps like, I got 60. And they're like, cool, we're buying a suit.
That's even.
Fucking Hall & Oates is sitting there going, the fuck?
What? I thought we were going to get like a bag of weed or something.
I gotta buy a new guitar. You guys broke mine when we were ninja fighting.
Pay for Jane's abortion. Monster Phelps knocked her up. Just kidding. It's Florida. You don't have to pay. It's handed out with Happy Meals.
There is a point where like they go get the suit, they come back, and Jane is there, and it's like it's supposed to be an awkward moment between her and Monster Phelps because her brother's been murdered.
Yeah. I mean,
And I just love she goes to Jim and she's like, hey, you found your father, that's great. And he's like, yeah, I did, here's John.
you
And
found
just
your
walks
father?
away.
Yeah, I did find my father. John's got something to talk to you about. Bye.
And he sits there and holds her like he has his hand on her back the whole time while she's talking.
Well, he doesn't want her to run
Monster
away.
Phelps. Yeah.
Well, and he's like, well, it's all over now. Or no, she says it's all over now, and he goes, that's true. Like, what? Like, I'm sorry I killed your brother. It never comes out of his mouth.
No. No. And also, she's not really blaming him. I mean, he had it coming.
I mean, she does start the movie with saying, I don't like my brother.
He's like an
is true,
urban
yeah.
Sasquatch. Not a fan.
He does run around in camo all the time. And I imagine if Sasquatches wore clothes.
Dude, Sasquatch is the camouflage king.
Well, they're basically wearing a ghillie suit.
Exactly.
I kind of got a
Have you ever
sarcastic
seen a Sasquatch?
yeah
Oh, that's not working.
on the movies.
Oh, no.
Boggy Creek 2, the legend continues.
Don't say those words to me that normally, please.
Shriek of the Mutilated.
Yeah,
Come
that's
on.
getting better. But Boggledy, whatever.
It's a sequel to a nature documentary that's a fiction film.
you don't even buy your own bullshit anymore.
No, it's true. These are words.
Yeah,
They're true
no,
words.
that's legit. Like that's so fucking weird.
Steve
I don't
knows
like.
what
I
I'm
was gonna say I
talking
don't like having Steve here to back you up.
about. Steve likes to waste money on Vinegar Syndrome like I do. He knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I did get some sarcasm from Hall & Oates here, though. They're all driving off. So for some reason, it's only Monster Phelps, YK, Kim, and Jim can go to the airport. They can't afford the gas to put everybody else in the car or
He
something.
just bought that suit, dude.
But as they're driving away, Hall & Oates is in the back. He's like, yeah, we'll have a neon welcome sign here when you get back. Like, you just took the last of my money. What do you think?
That's where the rest of the money's coming from.
But it sounded like he's like, I was going to buy you a neon welcome sign, motherfucker.
Yeah,
But you just took my $200 and bought that cheap ass suit.
yeah. Now we'll have grapes for your dad.
Don't worry. When we get back, fucking YK will shove grapes in your dad's mouth.
Thank God we didn't buy apples. Hey, take it by this apple. It looks like you need some fiber. Ah!
That's how you lose a tooth.
Hey, you want some of those Florida oranges? No, I'm good. Thank you.
Oh, the peel is on.
Real Florida oranges. That's how they get Tropicana. They don't just put a straw in the orange.
Just mash it.
Just get YK Kim to fucking shove it in.
He shoves them into each bottle.
You should see how he feeds them strawberries. It's not with his hands.
It's with his toes.
It's with his toes. Exactly. Hey, did you want some toast? Nope. Not from you. Why does he call it that? Don't ask. He's going to serve you toast with his feet.
Don't worry, it's butter side up.
It's always butter side up. That's how it lands.
I think this is the first time, well, maybe at the very beginning of the movie, but we actually see motorcycling ninjas.
Yes, the very beginning has it too, right? After that first battle.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Because it's a whole motorcycle gang. You know what? I guess it's definitely not the bikers because these guys are all on like Kawasaki's and stuff.
They're on ninjas. They're riding ninjas.
Yeah.
What else? What other kind of bike would a
Can we
ninja
get more on the nose? I just like it's like, all right, we're ninjas. We got to sneak up. What did you say? I said we're ninjas. We got to be.
I think it's Monster Phelps that sees them coming, and he's like, "Oh, ninjas."
He was surprised by the
God,
type of
yeah.
motorcycle.
Yeah.
Oh, ninjas. I was thinking Harleys. Huh. Wild.
fair.
That's a wild call.
YK Kim literally flies out of this car. He's seated and he launches over. It's a convertible. He launches up out of the seat over the windshield and onto the street.
He is excited. He is so excited.
And then they have this fight, and pretty much immediately, Jim gets sliced right down the middle.
Yeah.
And I think we may have mentioned this when we did the episode before, but it's fine.
How long he...
Well, there's that, but I just want to mention real quick this. So it's like a diagonal slice wound across his chest. That's a pretty decent looking prosthetic. Later on, Monster Phelps gets cut in the back. It's the exact same looking wound. And then even after that, another one of the ninjas gets his face cut, and it's the exact. So I'm like, did they just take it off one person? They're like, be very careful. We only have one slice wound.
Easy, easy. No,
Yeah.
you could
100%.
I mean, how long do you think this cry out from him was? 20 seconds?
Probably at least 20 seconds.
It's just check my watch.
my
What are you
God.
doing?
Yeah.
There? I'm off at 5. You want to give her a drink?
Well, when they cut away to YK and Phelps, you could hear it still going on in the background. It's just going and going. And YK matches that energy when he finds him because he goes, Jim!
Okay, he runs in his face. Like he puts his face in his face and is shaking him. Jim! Jim!
If I just got stabbed, please don't scream in my mouth.
Oh,
Don't shake me. Don't scream in my mouth.
seriously.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Then they drag him with his open wound and brand new suit through the swamp. And I actually read something that a large portion of the movie's budget was spent on this scene because they had to spend a bunch of money making sure that these areas were free of alligators or crocodiles or whatever the fuck's in
Oh,
Florida.
shit.
Even
That was
though-
my first thought when they started dragging him in the water with the open wound.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you're just inviting fucking whatever. But
Turns
this
out you're
is-
inviting sepsis.
This is
Yeah.
the shark movie expert. And if you put blood in water, what do predators do? They come for it, right?
Time to party.
yeah.
But yeah, I guess they spent a bunch of money trying to make sure all the alligators and stuff were out, even though this was not an area known for their activity.
It would have been.
I don't know how much they're into corn syrup, but
It's Florida.
Yeah.
They were born in corn syrup. You merely adapted to it.
this tastes just like that guy I ate yesterday. Mostly corn syrup.
Tastes like the first man I ever ate.
And Monster Phelps goes into full-on fucking monster mode.
Sith mode.
Dude, screaming. He's fucking stabs this dude and his face like explodes onto Phelps and he's covered in blood. Rips his shirt off. There's blood on his face and blood running down his chest for the rest of this movie. It's awesome.
He's got a primal scream too. He's like screaming in the stab guy's face, just ah.
This is the best acting both him and YK Kim put forward in this entire movie.
Yeah, YK Kim is a raging monster. It's tough to say. Like he's just when he. I think it's coming up.
Yeah. Raisin is all I can fucking see now.
He's one of the California raisins with a sword.
Yeah,
It's a Florida raisin, which is just what they call deer poop. I think it's coming up here. He grabs the samurai sword and he puts it like just below his eyes, and he's like, "I look tough, right?" No, you don't. You really, really don't look as tough as you think.
Hey, this director made like Hong Kong action movies. He knows what tough looks like.
Sure, on somebody else, not a fucking raisin monster.
Not a 4-foot tall man who looks like a shriveled up grape.
It's some hard lines, man.
That's why he's force feeding them grapes, because he wants them all to turn into raisins.
You can be pod people with me.
Eat my children.
Good. Let the grape flow through you.
But he's just running around murdering the fuck out of a bunch of ninjas. And one of my favorite things in this entire movie happens. One of the ninjas crawls up to Yoshido, who's just meditating, and he's like, "Everybody's dead." And this guy pulls out his sword and cuts this guy's head clean off. And he's like, "No, now everybody's dead."
And he gives a great evil laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that my voice?
Goes for an evil laugh.
Oh, that wasn't very intimidating. I'm glad no one's here to hear that one.
So during this fight between Kim and Yoshido, I had the note that it was very clearly a white stunt double. But what I read was that when they had to go back and do reshoots, because Kim watched the original cut of the movie, not Escape from Miami, but like the first cut, and he was like, "Well, this sucks. I got to make this better." But Woo-Sang Park had already gone back to Korea, and some other stuff was going on. So basically, Kim directed it. This is when he read a book about directing, so he knows what he's doing. And C.U. Joe, I think, or C.E. Joe, it's S.I. space Y space J.O. is the guy that played Yoshido, was no longer available. He was gone. Not dead, but he had
was
gone
off going doing
he had
porn,
gone
like
home or whatever.
legitimate acting like pornography.
And so they just had to basically make do. So they found somebody else and had them wear it. So it's not necessarily like white stunt double. It's just here's another dude.
Here's a guy that's the same approximate height and weight. We're good. Wrap it up.
And he knows kicky stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they basically recreate that scene from earlier, like I
pretty
talked
kicky
about.
situation.
Kim has a full like katana, and this guy's got like these little throwing blades, and he's using them to fight off the katana. I'm like, YK, you are at a disadvantage here. This
Yeah.
man is a better martial artist than you.
Yeah, if he's holding off you with a fucking couple of butter knives.
Yeah.
I think it's
You're
Kune.
fucked.
You said it.
Kune.
You said it on one of the
Kunune, something like that.
You said it on one of the Rambo episodes because he puts them in his little.
Kunai, I believe.
All right.
Kunai.
Kunai.
Kunai might be it.
Yeah, sounds right. You know why? Because I
kunai.
don't know.
I did not supply it, so I kunai it.
And then we have that weird like screaming freeze frame, which I believe, like I said, is the ending of the original movie.
Yeah, I bet it is because what's coming up looks like it's just slapped together.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean they Reservoir Dogs Jim back to the hospital.
Say the words. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be fine, man. Say the fucking words.
Yeah, say the fucking word. You're gonna be just fine. Say it.
My father.
No, not those words. Any other words. My father.
I do like that. Like, we're gonna take you to the hospital, and he's like, "But my father." I'm like, "Dude, your dad can wait at the fucking airport."
I guarantee you, here's the airplane landing. Oh, look at that. There's some poor, unfortunate African American individual who got stabbed. Huh. Anyway, I'm off to meet my son. Oh, why am I rerouting to the hospital? That's weird.
So they go to the hospital. Jim is better. His dad is there, and the guy who they got to play Jim's dad is one of the worst actors in this movie. Also,
Well, he's standing next to YK Kim, so he's not that bad. He's doing okay.
He's like, "You're lucky."
They couldn't find an older guy.
Right?
Like they just found a young guy and then powdered his hair. Like, really? That's what you went
Well,
for?
I don't know if you know a lot about Florida, but there's not a lot of elderly people in Florida.
Fair enough.
No, it's all elderly people.
Yeah, that's God's waiting room.
That's where everybody from New York goes to retire.
I mean, he should have said, "I have two pieces of news. One, here's your father. Two, he's a time traveler." because he's your age.
He's also younger than he was in that photo that you have.
Exactly. You know that photo you had? I don't think that was him, dude. This looks nothing like him.
This guy just got this. Someone got the letter, and they were like, "Just go, just go." This guy won't quit sending us letters.
This is some kid whose pubes came in gray.
But he's like, "You're lucky you have friends that care about you, and now I really care too." Like, you didn't have to say now.
Yeah, I didn't care about you before because, you know, I'm an asshole.
And it's all over. Let's all go home. Freeze frame ending.
Which
And
I
then we-
love.
And then this quote that comes up after we've just watched an hour and a half of mindless violence. It says, "Only through the elimination of violence can we achieve world peace."
Yeah. But you
Yeah.
achieve anti-violence with violence, duh.
Well, if Rambo taught me anything.
He did. Guns don't kill people. My guns do. Wait, what?
Oh, and that's the end of that movie. So we go around the horn for recommendations. I don't think I need to, but I
Guess
mean,
first.
Steve.
Well, everybody and anybody, show it to your children, show it to your grandmother on a Sunday. Yes, 100%. I recommend this for everybody. Show it to your pets.
Just
Yeah.
don't show it to my wife.
Yeah.
I think it's going to come around.
If I force her to watch it a few more times, she'll get Stockholm.
It's that 8th time it's really going to like
Has she
click.
seen the alternate cut? Has she seen Escape from Miami? Maybe
Ooh,
that'll change her mind.
Steve asked the question, have you seen the alternate cut, Escape from Miami? Please pause the podcast. We'll be right back.
She chuckled heartily and said no. Yeah, Jack.
Oh yeah, I recommended this movie to you that got me on this podcast. I recommend it to people often ask when they find out we do a bad movie podcast, like, well, you know, what's a good example of what you do? I'm like, Miami Connection. You've never heard of it, and you should, because it's going to tell you exactly why we like doing this forum.
Yes.
And it's everything I want.
Yeah, and obviously I recommend it. I own it. That doesn't mean I recommend it.
No, but you also have the soundtrack on vinyl. That's kind of a pretty staunch recommendation, my friend.
That's a hard yes.
Yeah, yeah.
That might be the hardest yes.
While we were watching this last night, I could just feel Whitney like dying every moment of the movie, and I just had the biggest grin on my face at every word that came out of everyone's mouth.
Yeah.
And not because she was dying, but because the movie was excellent, and I don't understand what her problem is. See, she kicked the table in vengeance.
Give me back my fucking job. I'm gonna have these guys take your fucking money, take all my money. I don't know how I'm gonna live, but I'm gonna play music. Yes, waste all your time in this movie.
And I don't know if you heard her, folks, but she said don't waste your time, and she's wrong. That's why I wanted her on the episode. I wanted the dissenting voice, not just
Yeah.
the three of us
Sucking
circle
this
jerking.
movie off.
Yeah.
Sucking YK Kim's emotional dick.
But when we were having technical issues, her solution at least 4 different times was, well, I could just not talk about it.
I mean, no, it was like right away. We're like, how are we gonna do this? She's like, I could not be here. We hadn't even had technical issues yet, and fucking Whitney, you know what? I bet you she did this. Saboteur.
I'm gonna look and the cable's just gonna have a little cut in it.
There's a little piece of fucking Play-Doh in there. Like
That's how strong her presence is in the movie, like, or in the episode. Sorry, like this is just like he's in it. You can feel the presence.
Also, Jack, you just said there's Play-Doh in there, so she stuck YK Kim's face in my mixer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, she did. How haunting that would be. There's something stuck in here. Oh,
So, I mean, this is kind of the anniversary is what we're kind of treat as the end of our season. So the end of season 2. We do have more stuff coming. Next week, we will be playing the episode that we did with Steve on his podcast, Bucket of Chum, back in May, I believe it was,
Oh.
right? Shark Exorcist.
oh God, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be our episode for next week.
Forgive me, Father. I have finned.
And we do have a Patreon episode this month for all of you patrons. Go to patreon.com/worstpeople. It's only $3 a month. Get extra content every month. This month's episode is going to be the Christmas classic, Violent Night.
I always have to pay attention because I'm not always sure what we're doing. I know you've already said it, but I'm like, what? Ooh, what's he gonna say? Violent Night. I love that movie.
That's the one where the guy from Stranger Things is a Viking Santa Claus
Yeah.
and murders John Leguizamo and a bunch of his friends.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah.
it's a great time.
So, Steve, you have something you can talk about your podcast?
Yeah, so I got Bucket of Chum this when's this coming out? December?
Yeah, December.
Yeah, so I've got a couple of Patreon episodes coming out. Creature from the Black Lagoon will be coming out in October, maybe the beginning of November, because I'm moving. In November, Humanoids from the Deep will be the episode for that.
I love that movie.
You got Derek audibly excited.
And then December, for this month, it will be Piranha 2, The Spawning.
Ooh, James Cameron's directorial debut.
Weird.
Oh, he didn't really do any directing.
Well, he also took his name off of it.
Yeah, so he doesn't really consider it, but yeah, it's a good time. So yeah, and you can find me on all the social medias at Bucket of Chum Podcast. That's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Slasher. And yeah, patreon.com/Bucket of Chum and YouTube channel at Bucket of Chum Podcast.
Cool. Well, thank you for joining us and talking about this cinematic masterpiece.
Well said.
Absolutely.
That's going to be it for this week. I've been Derek.
I'm Jack.
I'm Captain Steve.
And Taekwon. Taekwondo.
Sounds like you're a British guy. Taekwon. Right, Taekwon.
I want to do a song lyric, and that was my favorite one.
Against the ninja.
Taekwondo. Same song.
Yeah, but mine's a better lyric.
All right.
Because they were talking about the Millennium Falcon. What Falcon is it named after? And it's like, you're misunderstanding. It happened a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. The translation from basic to English doesn't exist. So Millennium Falcon is really just like some bird of prey that they have that we don't know. So that's why the English words are in there. It's for us. It's chronicled in English. And that's why I don't have a girlfriend.